So what is biomimicry? Simply put, it's using nature to inspire design. And the Biomimicry Institute has 3 types that they list for what could be biomimicry. One way is to copy form and shape in order to build a design that does something that you want it to do. A great example of this is the Velcro that was invented by Velcro company. There was a guy who was out walking his dog, and the seeds from the plants around them, which is a burdock plant, were getting caught on his clothes and in the dog's fur. And he was curious why. So he took some of the seeds and looked at them underneath a microscope and found that they were all little tiny hooks. And those were perfectly designed to catch on all of the threads of the fabric that he was wearing and all of the hair that is on his dog. And that inspired the Velcro fastener that we know and use all over the place today. That same company was doing research later and realized that mushroom heads are designed in an amazingly effective way to create a different kind of fastener. So they created a fastener called the Alpha Lock fastener that's based on inspiration from the shape of mushrooms. I'll put the link for this page in our below the video here. Some other great examples of amazing biomimicry. Shark skin and the way that the skin, the cells of a shark's skin create an effect that allows it to slip through the water was actually recreated, and in the 2008 Olympics, Michael Phelps, among a few others, were wearing suits of this sort. They were so measurably effective at improving their speeds that those kinds of suits have been banned from the Olympics until they become common enough that everybody has access to them. They banned them because not everybody could afford to have that sort of suit made for them, and that created an unfair playing field. Biomimicry, kind of an amazing piece. Beaver's fur has inspired new kinds of wetsuits, not just the blubber underneath insulating them, but actually the way the fur holds in air to insulate divers and snorkelers and anybody who needs a wetsuit. Termite dens and the way that termites cool off their giant spaces inspired an architect down in Zimbabwe to build a building differently. He designed it based on the same principles of cooling that the termites use. And it's an astonishing 90% more efficient. It uses 90% less energy to heat and cool the building than a traditional office building. This should be being done everywhere in the world now. It's amazing. There's the Velcro idea. This one blew my mind. You may know a little bit about airplane wings or propellers, and the shape actually creates lift. The same sort of thing happens with whales' fins. And some scientist somewhere looked at them and said, yeah, but they're bumpy on the front. Why is that? And they started researching, and they discovered the bumps actually improve the efficiency up to 1/3. So now that's being used to redesign propellers and turbines on wind power generation and airplane wings and all kinds of things because those bumps actually serve a purpose. They're not just warts or some kind of infection or anything like that. They're real improvements that nature has created, and somebody looked at it and found out why. And that's inspiring changes. This one is a systems example. Birds fly in V shapes because the first bird is breaking up the air and creating a little bit of lift, and the birds behind it get a little bit of a boost from that. And the birds behind them get a double boost, and so on. And the birds rotate through as they get tired. They move to the back of the V, and a new bird moves in the front. And that way they all use less energy. And they're thinking, This might be a good idea for us to do with our jets, particularly jets that are doing regular routes all going the same place. Maybe we should fly together. We'll use less energy and improve the world. And it goes on. Lotus flowers are improving paint for the outside of houses. Why? I'll leave the link so you can come look at this. This bug is inspiring water collection in multiple different ways. This is just one of the stories for how it's inspired interesting things. But there's so many examples of how nature has inspired us to do something. So back to the Biomimicry Institute, form and shape is one way. Another is process, like how does a leaf create energy? Well, we've figured some of that out, and now we have solar panels. And a third is systems-wide, ecosystem level, really, really large. How can we build cities that work better together? By inspiring them from nature. What can you learn from nature?